It was a bright morning, with innocent dewdrops falling in love on the light green foliage. If you look closely, even the shadow of the sun was barely painted on some of the dewdrops. If you look at it more closely, you can clearly see the subtle colors of the rainbow moving through the dewdrops. That railway station is very pleasant. It was surrounded by beautiful flowers, like beautiful girls with little smiles. Located in a peaceful mountain town with no traffic jams, the views are breathtaking because of the old whitewashed train station. From there, the whole life is as fresh as it seems to start anew. While the environment was creating such patterns, the Iron Devil was preparing for the next journey. The Iron Devil slowly began to increase his breathing speed. Suddenly, the father and son, who had bought tickets at the ticket counter, got on the train just as the Iron Devil was about to leave. With a deafening roar, the Iron Devil slowly crawled forward like a terrifying serpent. The boy, who may be about 13 or 14 years old, is smiling. Is he crazy? A little sickness, as well as age-inappropriate behavior, was evident in his appearance. Like the pet of a wealthy family, the people there had never seen such a strange child before. Dad was there, thinking of something. So these two got two seats next to each other. In the seat in front of them, there was a young couple. They are two going home for university vacation. The train is moving a bit faster now. The boy leaned his head out the window and stared in amazement at the beautiful scenery of environment. Sometimes he laughed out loud. Another time he waited in amazement. Another time he was in a state of extreme grief. Dad, what does that look like? He stretched out his hand towards the distant sky and asked, Son, that's the sky. I told my son before that it was the sky. Remember when I told my son a lot about the sky while telling stories in the books in the past? Dad asked lovingly. Ah, Dad, I didn't think it was that big. The sky is still visible. Isn't that blue? Okay, that's blue. Where does the sky end at? The boy asked, looking up at the sky. He questioned everything he saw without hesitation. But just as he was walking through the dark bungalows, while everyone else was hooting and screaming, this boy seemed to be very quiet and scared. It's like a tortoise heading into a ditch when it realizes that an accident is imminent. As soon as the light came on again, he became active like a blooming flower. Daddy, that looks like a tree, doesn't it? Yeah, let's go. We have a lot of other big beautiful trees in our house, Dad said lightly. He bought a pink lollipop for his son from a dealer on the train. Ha! I didn't think lollipops were so beautiful. Dad, show me the birds. It's okay to have that ugly screaming raven. Parrots beautiful, right? The son asked. Some people laughed out loud at what this boy, who was about 13 or 14 years old, was saying. Some even cursed the parents who raised such cute children. Others blamed the father for not teaching the child about the environment and society until he reached this age. Meanwhile, the boy was staring at the couple in front of them. The boy looked at them both and laughed. That laugh made the couple very uncomfortable. You two are a little different, aren't you? Why are you two so different? The boy asked the young couple. The young boyfriend felt that his beloved train journey would be ruined because of the child's one-on-one nonsense. So he decided to blame the boy's father directly. Wouldn't it be nice if your son could see a doctor? The young man joked to father. I showed him to a doctor and now he'll be back. He's actually regained his sight today. He lost his eyesight after an accident at the age of 2. His mother also died in the accident. So, from an early age, he became a blind child. He had major surgery yesterday. Luckily for him, it worked. I described the world he had not seen since he was a child. He must now feel that the world is more beautiful and bigger than I explained to him. That's why he questioned everything like this. I'm sorry if my son bothered you. Dad bowed his head and said sadly. Unable to do anything, the young man looked with pity on the child who was trying to comprehend this wonderful world with 2 eyes. That sun is visible in the distance. He burns day and night. He gives us light. We must be like that sun too. Humanity is what burns to give life to another life. The young man approached the child and said, I have never seen beauty. I have been trying to touch beauty since I was a child. I thought it had a shape for beautiful like everything else. I now know that there are many more things in the world that cannot be understood by touching. That was the biggest life lesson I learned since my eyes began to show. The boy looked at his father and said to the young man. The young man smiled kindly at the little guy who was trying to understand the world. People are very good at judging people quickly. A lot of people like to make characters guilty before it takes a tenth of a second. People are also good at throwing stones at people who have done wrong, like nobles who have not done wrong. But many are incapable of truly understanding the human condition. Judgments made without realizing it can be devastating. Often there is a big story that you do not see in the scenes you see. Do not rush to the final conclusion about the picture without knowing that story. Think to think. Goodbye. Subscribe us for more.